So few days ago, numerous days ago, I watched a video on TLC. For those of you who don't know what TLC is, I don't even know what TLC stands for, but they need to change it to like the white trash network, in all honesty, because that's what they show a lot of on this show. Well, just trash, not necessarily white trash, but they need to call it like American trash television, really. They need to call it American trash TV. ATTV. Okay, that's what I need to call it. They used to play the Duggars on TLC. If you don't know who the Duggars are, they're basically a cult that were very famous amongst American evangelicals and Mormons and other American Christian denominations. And they ended up getting... they ended up being pretty much irrelevant because it turned out that the older brother in the family was molesting his own sisters, and he was molesting other girls from the cult that they were in, and it was pretty horrendous. I remember warning people before any of that stuff was exposed, and everybody was telling me how evil and how judgmental I was, and I'm like, no, they're a cult, and nobody listened to me, of course. Now you know why I did a video saying I'm sick of religious people. That's the reason why, because you tell a religious person stay away and they don't listen. It's like that scene from one of the best comedies ever done is a film called Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, which starred John Candy and Martin Lawrence. Was it Martin Lawrence? No, Steve Martin. It was John Candy and Steve Martin. One of the few comedies that I have enjoyed watching. There's a great scene where John Candy is driving the car, and he's driving on the wrong side of the road, and he almost gets his car almost gets ran over by two giant trucks. Okay. And before he realizes that he's on the wrong side of the road, Steve Martin is sleeping. Steve Martin's on the passenger seat, and he's sleeping. And Steve Martin's sleeping, and then all of a sudden, there's another car that's driving on the right side of the road, the correct side of the road, and they're screaming at them, saying, "You're on the wrong side of the road. You're on the hey!" And they're honking their horns. "You're on the wrong side of the road." And Steve Martin wakes up and he's like, "Huh? You're on the wrong side of the road. What? You're going to kill somebody. You're going the wrong way." And John Candy says, "What are they saying?" And Steve Martin says, "They're saying we're going the wrong way." And John Candy says, "Oh, how the hell do they know where we're going?" And so Steve Martin says, "Okay, yeah, must be drunk. You're going to kill somebody." And Steve Martin looks at the road and he looks down and he sees the road. He's like, "Oh shit, we are going down. We are going the wrong way." And John Candy looks ahead and he sees these two giant trucks and they almost die. That's basically what it's like talking to a religious person. You see somebody driving on the wrong side of the road about to die, and you're telling them you're about to die, you're going on the wrong way, and they don't listen because the teacher, the master, tells them what to do. And that's how they live their lives. That's religion to them. I saw a video on TLC showing an African-American woman who was proud of herself because she is a cheapskate. And when I mean a cheapskate, I mean somebody who was proud of themselves because they saved $9 a year. Like that kind of shit. You know, I saved 8 cents because I told the butcher to only give me the fat of the cow. Don't give me any lean meat. I just want fat. Okay, that will be $1, and the butcher doesn't care because he's trying to get rid of all of it because who the hell's gonna eat all this meat, all this fat? It's not even meat. It's just fucking. It's like buying butter. I mean, you might as well just buy butter. It tastes better than that shit. And she's like, "Oh, look, I say $2. Instead of buying real beef, I'm going to buy like the fat that just melts on a frying pan." Okay. Genius. So this woman, she's such a cheapskate. She says, "Only one light bulb for the house. Only one light bulb for the house. Only one light bulb." And her boyfriend is basically her husband, like her live-in boyfriend. I don't know if that's her husband, but it was her live-in boyfriend. Is like, "I love Malika, but you know, she get a little too cheap sometimes, but I love her. So, you know, I try to abide by what she say, you know, I try to abide by what she say. And Malika's like, oh, hell no, Tashawn, you ain't, oh, hell no, Tashawn. You don't tell me that you just watched a commercial on the TV. I told you to turn the television on when the commercial come on. I told you to turn the television off when the commercial come on. You turn the television only when the game be on. Only when the game be on. Okay, Malika. And they show this guy who he goes into the shower and there's a baby monitor in the shower and it's connected to a baby monitor that's in the kitchen. And the woman is in the kitchen and she's listening to her husband showering. And she's like, Tashawn, it's been 2 minutes. Time to get out, Tashawn. It's been 2 minutes. And he's like, okay, Malika. And the shower's still going on. God forbid it goes on for another 5 seconds. And she's like, Tashawn, I told you to get out of the shower. It's been 2 minutes. And he's like, okay, Malika, I'm sorry, girl, I'm sorry. And I'm watching this and I'm like, why is this guy wasting his life? Why? So then he has to beg her to have a football game get together with his brother. Because she goes, I don't like people in the house. I don't like no people in the house. You know why? Because my bill go up. What your bill goes up? Like, it's my money. My bill go up. I don't want no one in the house. My budget is on tight. So the brother comes over, right? The brother comes over and there's no lights in the house because only one light bulb to the house. So when you want to go to a different room in the house, you have to get a ladder. You have to twirl the light bulb off, take the ladder and the light bulb to the room that you want to go to, get back up on the ladder, go up, and that shit's exhausting. I would rather be in the priesthood than be with a woman like honest to God, I'm not making this up. I would rather be in the Catholic priesthood than be with a woman like that. 'Cause I'll go crazy. I'll drown in the Ganges River. I'll throw myself into the river, into the Ganges. I'll climb Mount Fuji and confide myself to the laws of nature before I get into a relationship like that. I'll go insane. Oh, you've been there for 2 minutes. Oh, what you buy now? How much you pay for that? Who? You wasting all the finances. I say 58 cents on this here slab of fat from a pig's body a pig's body at the local butcher's market downtown in the middle of an alleyway. It really wasn't a butcher, y'all. They were selling pigs in some guy's backyard. But I bought a piece of fat. I say 52 cents on it. 52 cents. What money you saving, Tashawn? What money you saving? I don't know, Malika. I don't know. I just think you only live once. You know, like, time go by real fast. You gonna die. I'll shut your mouth. When I be dead, I'll be proud about the $9 I save every year. Amen. So this is the most disgusting part. It gets worse, guys. This woman makes the most disgusting lasagna I have ever seen in my life. When you make a lasagna, for one thing, you gotta do the bolognese. You gotta do the bolognese sauce, okay? You gotta do the bolognese, okay? The bolognese sauce is what? The beef bolognese, minced beef, all right? Celery, onion, carrot, garlic, red wine. That's what you need to make a bolognese, and a cup of milk to give it good texture. And you got to let that stuff cook, simmer for at least an hour. But the longer, the more, the better, right? You can let it simmer for 4 hours, 8 hours even. The lasagna, yes, you can buy your sheets from the store. Nothing wrong with that. But I always prefer to make my own sheets because there's something about homemade lasagna sheets. They just hit differently. This woman buys some cheap-ass ground beef, which there's nothing wrong with cheap ground beef. Nothing wrong with it. But she cooks it on a frying pan. No celery, no carrots, no onions, no garlic, no red wine, no milk. She just cooks it. And then she puts a little bit of ground beef And the ground beef is not even minced properly. It's all like dirt clogs, like different sizes and stuff. It's disgusting. It's like one's bigger than the other. One piece of minced beef is bigger. One's small, one's big. It's like, it looks like rocks. And then she puts this big bundle of fat that she bought, and she's so proud of herself because I bought $2 for this fat. Of course you bought it for $2. No one wants to eat that shit. People want proper meat that has a good fat to meat proportion. That's what we want. Good fat to meat ratio. Nobody wants to just put a bunch of freaking grease on a frying pan. But that's what this woman did, okay? Then she puts this nasty ass meat that looks like rocks and halfway burned on top of some cheap lasagna sheets. Again, nothing wrong with lasagna sheets. Okay. Then she puts like some canned tomato sauce, which is an abomination unto the Lord. Prego jar. Okay, hold on. Tin can tomatoes were fine. Prego. Throw that shit. Okay. Prego is okay, I guess, if you want to make a pizza, but don't put that shit on pasta. That stuff is nasty. Prego on pasta, that's an abomination unto the Lord. Prego. Disgusting. And I'm not even Italian, but I watched enough Italian videos and I've cooked enough Italian dishes to know Prego sauce on pasta is disgusting. Prego sauce on pasta is disgusting. Now, there are some legit pre-made pasta sauces that you can get, but Prego ain't one of them. I prefer, when I make a bolognese sauce, first thing, carrot, onion, garlic, celery in a pot. Let it cook for a while. Minced beef. Let it mix in. Let it render its fats. Let it cook for a while. Red wine. Let it cook. Lots of red wine. Add some water to it. Salt, pepper. Let it mix. Let it simmer for 4 hours. Let all the flavors merge. Add a cup of milk. Then you layer out your lasagna. This woman pours some cheap shit. Oh, yeah, forgot. Tin Roma tomatoes. I forgot. When you're making the bolognese sauce, before you add the red wine, crushed Roma tomatoes from a tin can. Delicious. Okay, I had to get that out there. This woman pours some garbage tomato sauce. And by the way, this woman, she makes dinner for her kids, right? She makes dinner for her boyfriend and the child. Whatever is left on the plates, this crazy woman takes a spoon and so there's like some leftover tomato sauce on the plates. She scrapes it back into the can of tomato sauce, the jar of tomato sauce. So she buys this garbage tomato sauce. It's already, right? It's disgusting. It's probably full of sugar. And whatever left over, she accumulates it all together and then she scrapes it back on the jar. I am legitimately disgusted by just talking about this. So what she's pouring on the lasagna is just stuff that's scraped from different plates for weeks. I got to get a drink. So, garbage meat, it looks like rocks on the lasagna sheets. Garbage recycled tomato custard stuff. It's not even tomato sauce. It's disgusting. And then she puts this, like, what do they call it? Mozzarella cheese, but it's like the stretchy stuff. It's not good. It's gross. No Parmigiano Reggiano, Pecorino Romano, nothing. It's not even lasagna. I don't know what it is. It's a monster. Frankenstein, okay? Then she tightly wraps foil paper around it. Okay, that's fine. And then she says, this Jezebel, this demon, female, whatever you want to call it, succubus, whatever you call it, from hell, says, I don't like wasting money on the electricity that the oven produces. So what I like to do is I like to hit two birds with one stone. I like to wash my dishes and cook my lasagna at the same time. And I'm thinking, oh God, no, 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 no. She puts her filthy plates in the dishwasher. Then she takes the lasagna that's been wrapped with foil. She puts it in the dishwasher. She puts 2 metal baking sheets on top of the lasagna. She closes the dishwasher and turns it on. She says, the steam from the dishwasher will cook the lasagna. And I'm thinking, oh God. Oh God. No. I'm thinking gross plates, dirty plates, and the steam from the dishwasher. It's like the precipitation. Like, so she after 2 hours of this thing sitting in residual steam, she takes it out. I don't even want to call it lasagna. She takes it out, and this crazy bitch serves it to the people watching the football game. And this is on top of them watching the game, and then the commercial coming up, and the boyfriend turning the television off, and the brother saying, man, what the hell is wrong with you? And he's like, that's what Malika wants, yo. I have to turn the TV off when the commercials come on. Save money, yo. I gotta save like 2 pennies, yo. And the brother's like, you crazy, man. I ain't having this. On top of that nonsense. Oh yeah, on top of the whole house being dark, like you're in the middle of a monastery, but it's even worse because there's nothing holy in this place. And, you know, yeah, some monasteries are pretty diabolical. This whole place is freaking dark. And on top of that, people are literally there's one lit candlestick, and people are walking around with a lit candlestick to have some light in the house, because only one light bulb in the house, gotta save money. This crazy bitch comes out of the kitchen. She like, lasagna is ready. She opens up the foil, and the steam it's all like steam. It's like radiating steam that comes from animal droppings and rotting carcasses and corpses and Animal Planet lion eating a antelope kind of steam. It's horrendous. And the brother's like, this shit tastes like water. And I'm like, brother, you got to get out of this. You got to get out of that house. I would leave that house. So after watching this, and I'm thinking, why does this man put up with this insanity? He's like, oh, I love her. Why does he put up with this insanity? Why? Because he's desperate. That's why he thinks he thinks, oh, I ain't going to find love nowhere else. Only Malika love me. And Malika is just controlling you. She's a narcissistic tyrant. So I told myself after watching this, I would rather be in the priesthood than be with that crazy woman. Because at least in the priesthood, I would be living an interesting life. Living with Malika, I'm eating dishwasher steamed lasagna, 1 light bulb to a house. Whole house is dark as hell, so you feel like you're depressed all the time because there's no light. She's on your ass for everything you buy. You're living with like schizophrenia incarnate. Whereas if I became a priest, yes, I wouldn't have a woman in my life, but I would be living a life of adventure, because I would be like, remember Blade, played by Wesley Snipes? I would be like the Blade of the Catholic Church. I'd be fighting off gay priests who would be trying to like hunt, prey upon me. I'd be fighting those bastards like I was Aragon in Mordor. I'd be fighting against the orcs, the priestly orcs. I'd be fighting against I would be defying their God, because their God is not the real God. They don't worship God. I would be defying their God, their gods, their idols. I would be defying the gods of Sodom. I would be doing speeches, controversial speeches. I'd be bashing the Pope, bashing the cardinals. I would just be like, It would be so much fun. I would be getting on the Michael Voris Church Militant show. I'd be like, well, Michael, yes, there is a tremendous infiltration of the church, writing books on the subject. all these Catholic trad people be like, "Oh, Father Theodore, thank you so much for standing up for the church, standing up for whatever." Like, there, my son or my daughter, be well, be at peace. We will win this fight. I would be like the Gandalf of the Catholic Church. I would be living a life of adventure and knighthood, as opposed to Sean, who's living with Malika, living miserably because once in a while he gets some tail. I don't know. That's my decision, guys. What happened to the comments? Pre-nutty version of Martin Luther. Absolutely. The Dark Lord, Malika. What happened to the... The internet is going out. Oh, no. I'm going to read you guys' comments. Kind of went to the deep end with that one. Okay, internet's working. Heather Green is, of course, talking about some different subject. Oh, never mind. My mistake. Yeah, it's like champagne. When will your father give more lectures? I'll ask him. I don't know. Steve Martin and John Candy are legends. Absolutely. Black Ted accent are very good. Well, living my whole life, pretty much my whole life in the USA, you picked that up pretty well. I could speak Ebonics pretty well. She might be Ashkenazi. Boo got shot? No, I haven't heard of Boo got shot. Is that a Philly accent? Yeah, it's kind of mixed up. North, a lot of the Ebonics is kind of mixed up with that Northeast accent. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you hustling, man, you better have an office, man. You better have the clocks up on the wall telling you what time it is in every part of the world. Because if you're gonna be hustling, if you've been getting that money, man, if you can be investing, putting your money in the stock market, man, you better be knowing exactly what time it is. What's the stock market? What's the economy in those countries? You better know what time it is in Riyadh. You better know what time it is in New York City. You better know what time it is in Hong Kong, Beijing, Shanghai, Tokyo, and Seoul, and even Pyongyang. If you up on this bitch. Because I don't care where that money come from. Communist regimes, capitalist regimes, it don't matter because that money be money, cash money flow into my bank account. That's what matters. Human beings are so gullible. I could invent a new religion about drinking urine for salvation, and you probably would definitely, yeah, you would actually find followers. Honestly, I kind of take mental notes from extreme cheapskates, but ignore the sanitation, neglect, risk. Those poor babies eating food, and it's disgusting. I will hang glide into the Ganges. Unplug that alarm clock, boy. You don't need to tell. Yeah, you don't know. You don't even know what damn time it is. My time, boy. But damn it, Shakiki, we got a game to watch. Don't embarrass me in front of my boys. And you can't stop stirring it. Ted can say that about better joining Catholic priesthood than having that woman until he meets bitchy priest that talks passive aggressive. Oh, passive aggressive priest. I wouldn't give a shit. I would be like, oh, that priest over there, he's just a sodomite, guys. Don't just ignore him. He's an asshole. I would be fighting off the gay priests because all the gay priests would be like, "Oh, Theodore, he's living in the monastery." They're like, "Oh, hell no, boys!" I'd be like Blade. I'd be like Wesley Snipes fighting those vampires. And then the cardinal would come over, and I'd be like, "I know you. I know your kind, familiars." And look at my teeth, dude. I got the Wesley Snipes Blade teeth. Look at that. Look at that. I'd be like, I know your kind. Familiars. Vampires. I know your kind. I would have like one of those email newsletters. Today we fought Sodom again. They're after me. Pray for me, guys, for I am in the den of the wolves. And all these trad Catholic church militant people would be like, Father Theodore, man, he's one of the few good ones out there. And I would be one of the few good ones. Smacking those. Father Theodore is now in jail for physically assaulting a priest he claims tried to sexually assault him. Here's lasagna. It's the blistering necrolysis. We're not in Cuba, so it's North Korea prison worse. Probably in Pyongyang, you can find some pretty decent food, man. Trade embargo. Vodka sauce. I've never tried vodka sauce. It doesn't sound very interesting. Prego's okay if you're like wanting to make pizza. Disgusting. It's like Kim Jong-un at a lunchtime buffet. No, are you kidding me, dude? Kim Jong-un be getting the good grub. Trust me. He be getting that Korean kimchi, seaweed Korean barbecue. He be getting the good stuff. Trust me. Sounds like constipation. Yeah, it sounds like nastiness. I was literally about to vomit doing this. I was about to vomit recounting to you what I saw in that video. Rob, we've talked about plenty. Let's see here. Her lasagna hits like Crohn's disease. Ted, we are not your psychiatrist. This is not a substitute for therapy. May the dogs lick her blood. Someone call Captain Jehu to throw her out of her own kitchen. I wonder if her kids still survive. I don't know. That boyfriend needs to leave if he has any sort of sanity. Salmonella. I'd have to disinfect I wouldn't even walk in there. Let me tell you guys something. When I was in high school, I had to do a school project with an African-American student. Nothing wrong with that. We were friends. We were cool. We were homies. Okay. Nothing wrong. But he said, hey, why don't you come over to my house and we do the school project? I said, okay, cool, homie, cool, cuz, I speak Ebonics. So I went to the house. We were in Pittsburgh, California. We spent about 10 minutes on the project. I don't even remember the project was about we did a project on Germany, not World War II, just on like the culture, the economy, and all this stuff. For like 10 minutes, we were talking about Germany, and then we spent the rest of our time playing GTA, San Andreas. That's what we were doing, okay? And the mom was there. His mother was there. And his mother said, y'all hungry? I'm going to make some burgers. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, hamburgers. Big Mac, Whopper, In-N-Out. Yeah, hamburgers. Absolutely. Hell yes, I'll eat some hamburgers. This woman goes to the grocery store and she comes back with this carton with like 5 or 6 of these big fat meat patties from the store. Now, when you want to make a proper meat patty, the patty's got to be thin. If the patty's fat, forget about it. It's nasty. Unless you got some really good quality meat that's tender, forget about it. That shit's disgusting. When you go to the grocery store and you buy ground beef, you got to make the patty thin. So that way, when you put it on the grill, it cooks evenly and it's thin and has a nice texture. When you bite into it, it's like crispy on the outside, now good texture on the outside, nice and tender and creamy on the inside, like biting into butter. That's what a hamburger should feel like. A proper hamburger should feel like that. Should be taste. Now, when you bite into some nasty ass, thick ass patty from the carton to the frying pan, and there's juices coming out of it, and it's boiling in its own juices. It's boiling in its own juices, my friends. That's some boiled ground beef. It's disgusting. It's nasty. Make you vomit. You don't even want to eat that shit. But it was me, the black kid, and a white kid from a broken home. Okay, both of them came from broken homes. I was the only kid in the house whose parents were together. Okay, and the mom, I'm watching this woman cooking up boiled up patties, literally from the carton to the frying pan, blood and all, nasty ass shit, red juices, nasty, boiling in its own, disgusting. And I'm like, what is this crazy woman doing? This woman puts the patties in between two pieces of Wonder Bread. Now, if you don't know what Wonder Bread is the cheapest shit sliced bread you can buy in America. The stuff is so cheap. And you know it's Wonder Bread when you see the outside, the packaging has like the rainbow multicolor, which you know, when you see like multicolored tie-dye stuff from the 90s, that stuff you know is garbage. Like when I see sliced bread, the packaging needs to have a nice image of some grain, like a nice grain field, wheat field, little wheat pods with, you know, that it looks like it's waving in the wind type of thing. That's what it needs to look like. If it doesn't look like that, if I get that tie-dye multicolor Wonder Bread stuff, ugh, that's disgusting. I'd honestly rather eat at an East German restaurant than eat whatever this person is going to make. But she puts the patty in two pieces of bread, and she didn't even have the courtesy to at least toast the Wonder Bread. She didn't have the courtesy to at least, I don't know, grill the Wonder Bread with some butter, give it some texture, give that damn thing some contrast. No, she puts it from the patty from the carton to the frying pan where it's boiling in its own juices. Then she takes the Wonder Bread from the package to the meat. She puts the meat in between two pieces of Wonder Bread, and she puts it on a plate, and she's like, here you go, boom. I'm looking at this Wonder Bread. The Wonder Bread is the cheapest shit bread you can buy. It's like eating cotton. That Wonder Bread is just absorbing all the juices like a damn sponge. There's no contrast. It's like eating a slab of mush. The bread ain't toasted or grilled, not crispy, like eating cotton, and it's just sucking up all those red juices. They ain't no mustard, no onions, no pickles, no hot sauce, nothing. And this is when I began to realize, man, I live in a completely different household because my father would never make me this shit. I live in a completely different world. Most American kids eat like shit. They're latchkey kids going home by themselves. Mom and dad working on their way to a divorce. Mom probably sleeping with the therapist, and dad's about to have a heart attack from all the stress. And the kids go home with the key. That's why they call them latchkey kids. And they go home and they're watching porn and listening to Eminem. I mean, really, this is America. This is the life in America for a lot of kids. If you don't believe me, then you're living in a dream world. White boy from a broken home next to me is eating this slab of mush that he calls a hamburger, saying, "Oh, this is oh, and he's eating this thing like he's never eaten a hamburger in his life. Oh, just delicious. Oh, delicious." And I'm sitting there like, you ain't got no taste buds, man. And then the black kid, the African American gentleman, is like, this is good. Is good. And I'm sitting there like, I'm looking at my hamburger. I'm looking at this abomination, and I'm like, and I take one bite out of it, and I'm like, I take the napkin, and I went, and I waited for the mom to turn around, and I walked up to the trash can, and I went, and I sat back down. And I said, you know, it's amazing. Americans go to McDonald's. They go to Burger King. They go to In-N-Out. They go to Wendy's. They go to the In-N-Out hamburger, or they go to the Whataburger hamburger. All of these restaurants serve their patties thin, grilled, good texture. You walk into an American person's home. What are they giving you? Big fat patties from the carton to the grill, or from the carton to the pan. And it's like, okay, you got to flatten those patties. You got to give them some texture. Oh no, and the patties from the carton, they have these little ridges and these little hills, and they're not evenly cooked, and the juices it's just disgusting. It's horrifying. You got to, in California, they don't call that a smash burger for no reason. You got to smash the patty. Listen, guys, I'm not even Anglo-American, and I know this stuff better than you guys. Okay, so years later, it's the year 2000, and I want to say 11. I'm in Colorado, and I'm supposed to go to this family's house for dinner. And the mother, the wife in the family, the mother, when it's the father, you say the head of the household. So I guess you could say the woman of the house comes up to me and she says, "Ted, I know you like to cook." She said, "Can you give me some pointers? How do I make a hamburger? Tell me." And I said, "Well, what you got to do is you got to take the patty and you got to smash it and make it look like a pancake." I said, "That way it cooks evenly and has a good texture." She says, "Okay, I can do that for you." I said, "Oh, thank you so much." And she's in the kitchen, and I'm watching this woman, watching her like a hawk. Like, is she going to listen to anything that I told her? She takes the patty from the carton, and these are the patties that have the holes in the middle of them. And I don't know why they do that, but she got the patties from Walmart, and they had the holes in the middle. And I watched this woman as she takes the patties from the carton to a frying pan. And I said, "This bitch." She did it. She didn't even listen to me. And she sticks it on some raw-ass bun, not grilled. It's not lightly pan-fried. There's no contrast. Food requires a contrast. And all these Americans, they go out to eat all the time because they think, I can't make good food like they do in a restaurant. Yes, you can. Just watch YouTube. Go watch some Jamie Oliver. Go watch some, go to any fast food restaurant. Go notice the patty. It's thin. It doesn't look like that. All you got to do is take your hand and smash it like a pancake. She gives me the hamburger. I pick it up. I walk to the kitchen. And I put it in the trash where it belonged. I said, I ain't eating that shit. And I didn't tell her that, but I told myself, I ain't eating that shit. Nope. And I starved for most of that day because I ain't eating that shit. Anyway, I'll read you all's comments now. Yep. Nasty ass soap water cooking up that lasagna for you, boy. And don't forget all those filthy dishes and all the precipitation coming out from cleaning up these dishes with hot water. It's disgusting. Maybe she's saving money for meth. Maybe. Nothing surprises me anymore. The stove is only for cooking rocks. She beats him? Probably, yeah. I told you not to spend that $5. I told you. Yep. What am I drinking today? Homemade champagne. Sounds like Malika has a mental health disorder. Yeah, it's called pride. Oh, I saved $5 on this. Ooh, look at me. I spent $5. If somebody came up to me and said, I spent $5, I would say, oh, that's great. I don't give a shit. Where's the good food? This is crap. See, I come from a Middle Eastern culture where we serve people good food. Okay. I've never had shitty food given to me by a Middle Eastern family. Never. Middle Eastern people don't treat their guests like shit. They don't treat their guests as their burdens. They don't treat their guests like nuisances, or they don't treat their guests as if they're annoying. They treat their guests well. Years ago, I went to a Middle Eastern household. They were from Lebanon. It was in New Jersey. This was an ethnic Armenian family from Lebanon. They fed the shit out of me. Let me tell you something. They gave me giant mounds of baklava and lamb and rice and vegetables and all sorts of sweet goods and sesame seed sweet candies, and it was delicious. And it's not like, oh, it's been 10 minutes. No, we were there for hours eating. Hours and hours of eating and talking and eating and talking and eating. American people, Anglo people, they do this thing when you're talking to them. They do this thing. This is how you know it's time to bail out. When you're talking to a white family, this is how you know when it's time to bail out, guys, okay? When they do this thing with their hands, they go, when a white person does this, it's time to bail out of the conversation because you are a nuisance to them. Well, that's code talk for get the F out. I'm tired of looking at your ass. That's what that means. Oh, well, you know. Oh, yeah. That means it's time to get the fuck out of my house. That's what that means. Oh, leave. Middle Eastern people, you stay there for hours. Eating. It's like my dad had a very good friend from California. My dad calls him like twice a year. My dad called him up today because it's his birthday today. I listened to the conversation. You know how long this conversation lasted? Literally 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Well, I gotta go. Bye. Like, okay. See ya. Talk to you next year. Oh.